Alright. I'm just going to say this right now. My low is that this is the third time I've tried recording something. You're probably wondering why that is. Well, it has nothing to do with iPhone storage, for once. Although it does involve the fact that I record my videos on a phone. See, you guys know I record my videos on a phone. Well, if you don't know, now you know. And there are some benefits and some detriments to this. Obviously, some benefits include I have a phone to have it all, to call people for making important phone calls. Since I record videos on my phone, I have a convenient camera right there. And because I'm connected to social media, Facebook and all those other social media sites, I can upload my video from my phone. That's awesome, right? Here's the thing. One detriment is if anyone tries calling you on your phone, the recording stops. Just out of the blue. So, needless to say, both times I've tried making videos, I've been rudely interrupted by phone calls. Here's the stupid part too. It's just 6 o'clock in the morning right now. Who is calling me at this hour? It's so, again, stupid, right? Here's the thing. The first call was from Ghana. Like Ghana, Africa. Yeah, needless to say, it's mostly like spam calls and ridiculous stuff, but, holy cow. I can't believe it's happened twice so far. And I wasn't even remotely done recording the video when it happened both times. So, yeah, needless to say, the fact that I have to do this for a third time is my low. Don't get me wrong, I love doing videos, but part of the charm is that these are all completely one take only. I don't write anything, something, for the most part, I don't write down or record anything. I just simply, I pretty much just, press record and go to work. That's pretty much all I do. So if I'm interrupted and I forget what I said, I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble. Luckily, though, I wasn't that far into either attempt to, in order to forget what I was talking about. So, there's that. So, yeah, my low is the fact that this is my third attempt recording this. My high, on the other hand, knock on wood, is that it shouldn't happen again. Especially at 6 o'clock in the morning. Seriously, how is it happening so early in the morning? I don't get it. And finally, my act of kindness, and this was something I was talking about in the first two recordings, is that I know it is a bit of a cop-out that I use helping out my grandmother as an act of kindness, especially when that's one I use a lot. But then I have to remember, my grandmother is 86 years old. At some point, the day will come when I'm not going to be able to say that anymore. So, while it is a bit of a cop-out, it's definitely a necessary thing to do. Plus, I love my grandmother. I love helping her out. So, I guess I really don't feel any sort of, shame in that. Good morning and happy hump day, everyone. Alright, so, where was I? A part of me, actually, this is what I was talking about right during the second recording. I think I figured out, why Monday felt like Monday. Like a real true blue, I want to get this day over with Monday. And it really does stem from the fact, Monday, at least from my perspective, was a pretty big video that I did. It was the State of My Being address. I did a mom food chronicle. I read One Piece Chapter 1000. You know, that's a lot. My point is, I think it just took a lot out of me. That's why, you know, Monday felt as long and boring as it felt. And again, on top of that, because we're in that time of the week where if nothing's on that interests you, it's going to seem even more boring. You know, that also worked. That also was a problem, too. I mean, America's Got Talent's not going on. The Voice isn't going on. At least to my knowledge. Like, nothing is happening. At least in the early part of the week. Now, we're at Hump Day, and it's been well over a week and a half since the last episode, but we're finally going to get weekly episodes of The Masked Dancer, which is awesome. I can't wait to watch that tonight. That will definitely be a sort of series of videos I do going forward on my thoughts on each and every episode. That'll be fun. That'll be definitely something that, you know, I can do going forward. And it'll definitely sort of ease the mundaneness of the fact that, yes, it is January, it is cold, it can be depressing. You know, why would, you know, not that I would expect any different. I mean, here's the thing. A lot of industries understand that January is a depressing time of year. Because, you know, it's after the holiday season, it's all over. The joy and the magic of Christmas is done. Like, and again, one industry that takes advantage of that is the movie industry. Because, I mean, it's been better in the last couple of years, but for a long time, January was a dumping ground of, like, not very good movies. In fact, it wasn't until around 2015 when Kingsman came out where, like, we actually got a really good movie during that time of year. Well, really, Kingsman came out in February that year, in 2015. But still, my point is, it was like a good movie coming out in this time of year. Yes, please. I would very much like that a lot. And, you know, as time went on, you know, movies that came out in that time of year were like, you know, Black Panther, Deadpool. I'm starting to notice they're all comic book movies, actually. I just noticed that, like, yeah, they're all like comic book movies. Like Captain Marvel, I think there was another one that came out that time of year. So, it really is quite interesting, like, when you have a year like 2020, and in the beginning of that year, things were going fine for movies, but then, you know what happened. So, that sadly had to be a problem. Alright, so, what else was I talking about? Oh, right. Another thing I talked about in the first two recordings. Like, here's the thing. I know this upcoming weekend, I'm going to be doing my top 11 Super Bowl matchups that I want to see. And, you know, I'm trying to lay down the ground rules I set myself when I did that video a year ago and trying to remember everything. But another thing I remember, well, here's the thing. I knew this, but it didn't really hit me. But it's something like I remember, but not until like I'm about to start making the list itself. When coming up with the top anything number list, picking out your number one is always like the easiest one to do. Normally anyway. This time was a little bit different. If you're a devotee and someone who's seen my videos forever now, you'll remember I did this list last year. I'll give you a hint. My number one on this list was one of the spots on my list a year ago. Technically. Obviously, further explanation will be required on, when I do that video. But You'll know if you've been watching my videos for a long time, and then again, you should be able to just look it up on YouTube. Seriously, all my videos are on YouTube. You can just look it up when I did that particular video. That way, you'll know exactly what it is I said. But yeah, although when I think about what my number one for this year is going to be, in some ways it actually is kind of underwhelming. But luckily, I will be able to explain why it's significant. Just FYI. Oh, yeah, I tickle my throat kind of. It's very dry today. And it was starting to show a little bit. Yeah, not really too much more to say or do or talk about. I mean, again, The Masked Dancer is having another episode tonight, which is awesome. This is the first one, and sorry if it looks like the light is like dimming in and out. The computer that my phone is laying in front of, the screen is like getting dim, and if I don't do anything or move my computer mouse, it's gonna go completely black. Obviously, it doesn't really ruin the light. I mean, if I were to turn it off, you'd be able to see me just fine. But I like that little glow. You can actually sort of see me a little bit better. And see how adorable I am. Right. Again, this time of year can be a little bit on the downside just because there's not a lot to do because it's so cold, and again with world events going on. But I think we're coming. I mean, it'll be near the end. There was actually something I was thinking about this morning, but I don't want to talk about that particular thing until Friday for obvious reasons. And it's another instance where if you've been watching me for a long time, you'll know exactly why I'd be talking about it on a Friday. But again, I'll get into that. When that time comes. That's really about it. The only other thing I can really say involving at least this upcoming weekend is, thanks to football, I know exactly what my plans are going to be. So that'll be nice. And the best part is, one of the teams I'm looking forward to watching is the first game that plays this weekend. But don't worry, I'm definitely going to be talking about more on that when we get to that fateful day, which is actually going to be this weekend. That reminds me, I really should, because here's the thing, and I said this yesterday too, I am going to be doing class and session videos. Can anyone tell me if school is still back in yet? I don't really know. I don't know what that is. Because I only do the class and session videos when school is actually going on. But I don't want to do it when it's not going on, because that wouldn't make any sense at all. Says the one guy who did the class and session videos on Global 1 and Global 2 on Columbus Day last year. 2020, Columbus Day 2020. Yeah. Holy cow, we're already there. We're already here. For some students, we're halfway through the year. And then we're going to be getting, actually around this time of year, back when I was in high school, everything was winding down, and students who had Regents exams had to prepare for Regents exams. Maybe if I ran out of classes to talk about, I could talk about other things that was what life was like for me going to school at Horace Hedge and Trinity Pauling. I'll have to think about that. Wouldn't be That wouldn't be a bad idea, I don't think. Right? Oh, well, I should probably wrap this up before I get interrupted again. Like, favorite, channel, subscribe, and follow me on social platforms you guys on YouTube. I'm very humbled with this video for all of you guys who watch and enjoy today. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful hump day. And remember, if you guys want to talk or channel, I'm going to be here to lend and I'll be back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.